Welcome everybody to the Palmetto Bowl here as the Gamecocks take on the Clemson Tigers. The number 14th ranked Tigers, actually a team that came into the season ranked very, very high, but they have fallen off just a little bit this season in our NCAA Dynasty. And unfortunately for us, they are on a revenge tour. They have won their last 4 games. They haven't really been even close in the last couple of games. And it's going to be tough if the Gamecocks want to take down the Tigers today in this rivalry game. But we are here and we are ready. Rattler on the first play of the game is going to roll out, almost gets sacked, and launches it down the field. And I guess they're going to count Xavier Legette as the man in the area, but it wasn't really close to anybody. Now 3rd and 10, Rattler again under pressure up the middle, rolls out, and Juice Wells not going to get the first down. So the Gamecocks have an early decision to make, and they do decide to go for this one. Joyner all alone in the backfield. You can tell he wants to run it. Can he get the edge? No, he can't. Oh, the Gamecocks give the Tigers an early opportunity here. 1st and 10 now for DJ Uiagalelei. He's going to have all kinds of time in the passing game. Rolls out of the pocket, and he gets Bo Collins, who makes a man fall to the ground. He's got a 13-yard gain, and they will finish it off here. 1st and goal to the tight end, Davis Allen, and he just gets a 1-yard touchdown run as the Tigers, man, they strike first, and they strike quickly. Now, Rattler, 2nd and 10. It's going to be a play action. Instead, he steps back, fires into the flats. That one's intercepted by Venables. Now again, another short field for the Tigers as they have a 3rd and 2 already inside the 5 or inside the 10, right at about the 4-yard line. And it is going to be another Davis Allen touchdown on the 8-yard flat. Man, that is a very, very bad start for this Gamecocks offense. They need to settle down and they need to get going. Now 1st and 10, Rattler fires and overshots his man. And he has started 1 for 7 with 2 interceptions. Now 3rd and 8. Rattler needs to make a throw. Finally able to make it. And Antoine Wells, Juice Wells, gets tripped up and flipped in the air as they go to the hurry-up offense now. 1st and 10, we see Dakereon Joyner for the first time today. He is going to roll out. Nice blocking by the offensive line. He takes it himself and makes a man miss with his agility. He's got 16 yards up that right side. Now again, Joyner in the backfield. 1st and 10, wants to throw again. This time he's going to throw it, and Brown's going to catch it. Amarian Brown had a lot of room in front of him, but instead he had to dive for it. And now 1st and goal, the Gamecocks are going to push it in. They had a very, very big trench battle there, but Marshawn Lloyd is going to strike for the first time today for this Gamecock offense as they bring it back down to a 7-point ball game. DJ is going to hand it off to Shipley for our first carrier we've seen of him, and he's going to scamper for about 4 yards, and he's got the first down on that left side. There's a lot of hatred between these two teams, so if you're a Gamecock fan right now on this for this series, you do not want to see the Tigers get another score here because it's going to be very difficult, and the Gamecocks do manage to stop that offense. That offense has been pretty energetic so far this game, and now Marshawn Lloyd trying to get his feet moving as he's got a 10-yard run on that one as we get down to about the final 25 seconds of the quarter. 3rd and 10, Rattler rolling out to the left. Nobody quite open. Slings it into coverage, and it's caught by Legette. Breaking a tackle at the 6 and down at about the 3. Xavier Legette, 56 yards, and the Gamecocks now on a 3rd and goal. Joyner steps up, throws it, and he misses his man. Oh, he had a touchdown. He had the touchdown there, but Dakereon Joyner just missed 2 open receivers, and on a 4th and goal, Rattler to the end zone. He was just in at quarterback, and now he is in at receiver making plays as Dakereon Joyner ties this one up. Gamecocks now tied up 14-14 with the Tigers. DJ on the play action. He's got Browningstool, who's going to break a tackle at about the 40. Out to the 50. Darius Rush misses it at the 40, and now at the other side in the Gamecock territory at the 30, about 29-yard line. Browningstool is finally brought down. Now the Tigers face a 3rd and 11. DJ wants to go to the air, and it is intercepted. Darius Rush is going to jump that one. It's a little underthrown, and the Gamecocks instead are getting the ball right back deep in their own territory, but that's a little bit of a good run there by Marshawn Lloyd, so he's going to get them some room. And now 3rd and 13 for the Gamecocks. Rattler out of the shotgun. He wants to roll around. He wants to throw downfield, and into coverage again. It's intercepted again by Venables. He's going to return it back to the 40 and out to about the 34 as he is forced out of bounds by Eric Douglas. The second interception of the day for Rattler, now 2nd and 3. DJ on a little bootleg action. He's going to hit Ngata, and he's got it. Joseph Ngata down to about the 4, 22 yards on that one. Now 2nd and goal. DJ has Shipley to his left. He's going to be a play action there. Wants to throw to the outside. Davis Allen, another one. 3 touchdowns for the tight end today. 1 on the ground, 2 through the air. That one's going to stand as a 6-yard catch and run as he just had to cut it up the field. Now on a 1st and 10 to Kerryon Joyner, making another excellent read and an excellent catch on that one. 21 yards, 2nd and 5 now, later on the same drive. Joyner, read option. He's going to keep it himself, and he is going to get the first down. He almost went backwards there. Instead, he gets 8 yards. He could have had about 10 maybe, but he went backwards a little bit. Now 1st and 10, Marshawn Lloyd had a lot of room up the middle, and that just parted like the Red Sea. 2nd and goal. Joyner on the read option, gives it to Lloyd, and he's got the touchdown. 5 yards right down the middle in the trenches, and this Gamecock offense answers again. They have yet to win against a ranked team this season. And now on a 3rd and 12, Joseph Ngata has a 9-yard reception. I should say they have yet to win their last couple ranked matchups. They beat Texas A&M, who was struggling but still technically ranked. And now Amarian Brown, can he get the edge? He can. Missed tackle at the 50, down to the 30, breaking another and down to the 20, about the 19-yard line. Now 2nd and 1, Joyner keeps it himself, breaks free, and just barely doesn't get into the end zone, and they're going to finish the drive with another Marshawn Lloyd touchdown, his 3rd of the day, in a school record tied there. 3 touchdowns in a game on the ground, and DJ on a 2nd and 10 fires downfield to Ngata on a little bit of a play action here as we start the second half on a very, very bad defensive note as DJ's got a lot of room to run it off the read option. He's got a big 15-yard run, now 3rd and 8. DJ in the shotgun again with Shipley behind him. 3rd and 8. He takes the pass, wants to throw, and Bo Collins gonna drop this one. So the Gamecocks here, an opportunity to go up by 2 scores. 1st and 10 by Joyner. He is gonna roll around out of the pocket, fires to the slant very late. Usually you see slants as quick passes, but that time it was a very, very methodical play. Now 1st and 10. Joyner's going to go underneath the Juice Wells, and he's got 4 yards on the play. He's sticking with Joyner. Belak Shmeems is sticking with him, and now on a 2nd and 6. Beautiful read on the read option. Could have got a little bit more room if the blocking was better. Now Rattler comes back into the game all alone in the backfield. Rolls out deep into an open man. Touchdown. Xavier Legette wide open on the verticals, and the Gamecocks now up by 14 as the score is 35-21, and DJ goes deep to Spector, who's got his man Cam Smith beat, and he's out to the 15, down to the 4 as he's tripped up. The Tigers take no time to respond here as they get down to the goal line. 3rd and goal. DJ to Kobe Pace, the backup, and he's got it. Touchdown. 4 yards on the ground for the Tigers from what was a beautiful catch and run by Spector. Just like that, it's back down to 7. Rattler on 1st and 10, rolling out of the shotgun. Wants to throw to Wells, who cuts upfield, cuts back infield, and he's got a good 33-yard gain. A lot riding on this one. Kerryon back in the game. He's going to give it to CBS later on that drive, and he's got 7 yards as we are in the red zone now. 2nd and 3, going to go back to the ground. Marshawn Lloyd caught from behind. Had the end zone in his sights, and now 1st and goal. Dak back in the game. Another read option. He can walk into the end zone. Everyone follows CBS, and the senior who came onto campus as a quarterback, made his mark as a receiver, is finally showing just how talented he is this season. He has been outstanding for this offense. On a 3rd and 11, the Tigers get an 8-yard catch, and the Gamecocks now with an opportunity to go up by 3 scores. On 1st and 10, Joyner rolling out of the pocket, back across his body to the air. Juice Wells with a beautiful catch there. Now Marshawn Lloyd on 1st and 10 is going to run it up the middle. Some very, very physical running, and we will start this 4th quarter now on a 2nd and 4. Up 42-28. Joyner now out of the shotgun, steps up to throw it. Hit as he throws, and another diving reception by Amarian Brown. Now 3rd and goal. Rattler under center, bootleg to Stogner, and he is wide open. Austin Stogner, former Oklahoma teammates there. We have not been able to get Stogner that involved in the offense, but this time he is going to get another one of his bootleg touchdowns. 1st and 10 for the Tigers, and they're going to get Joseph Ngata, who bounces off of a couple of tackles. Another one past the 50 and down to about the 45. Mark him at the 44, I believe. And the Tigers would continue to go down the field. 3rd and 8 now for the game, or for the Tiger offense. Gamecock defense kind of tired back there. DJ to the end zone, and Darius Rush just left too much of a cushion. And Bo Collins making something happen as the Gamecocks pick back up now 49-35 with just right around 5 minutes remaining. 2nd and 10. Rattler firing deep downfield. Got a man past the coverage. Juice Wells, 49 yards. So despite the 2 interceptions, the Gamecock passing offense has been fairly efficient. Now 1st and 10. Rattler's going to go to the outside, and he's got Jaheim Bell, who's going to get 15 on the play. 1st and goal. Now Joyner returns to the game, wants to fire to Josh Van. Touchdown to Kerion Joyner. He has finally got that passing touchdown this week. He has been trying his best to get one, and the Tigers going to answer on a beautiful route there by Antonio Williams in 2nd and 13 now. 56-35. DJ across the middle to Spector, makes a couple men miss, and he breaks another tackle. He's got 22 yards. Brandon Spector has been very, very good for this offense. Now 2nd and 10. DJ's going to give it to Shipley right up the middle, making some men miss, and he stops on a dime into the end zone. The Tigers strike again in this shootout. 56-42. The Gamecocks, after the onside kick, would have excellent field range, and there is another nice run by Marshawn Lloyd as the timeout game is now played by the Tigers and Dabo Sweeney, but Marshawn Lloyd on a 2nd and 2, trying to break to the outside at about the 5. Instead, he gets pushed back to the 6. 1st and goal now. Joyner gonna give it to Lloyd right up the middle, and this offense has no quit on them. They would go up 63-42 very late in this ball game as Marshawn Lloyd breaks the school rushing touchdowns in a game record. The Tigers would, however, get another opportunity as they drive down the field here on a 2nd and goal with a little over a minute remaining, and DJ is going to play action it. Wants to go to the end zone, you can tell, and he fires to the back, and Jake Briningstool has an 8-yard touchdown. But outside of that, this one will be dominated by this Gamecock offense. 63-49 is your final as the Gamecocks and a head coach, Belak Shmeems, finally take down the Tigers in the Palmetto Bowl in a very, very solid win to end out Season 1 here. We've definitely had a rough go of it against ranked teams this year, but today we made everything work perfectly for the Gamecocks against the Tigers in a rivalry game. A game that I felt like we needed to win to really solidify ourselves going into the bowl game and going into next year. We have an opportunity, obviously, now to win 10 games on our first year. DJ had a great game, 4 touchdowns, 1 interception. Rushing-wise, they left a little bit to be desired, but Will Shipley, Kobe Pace, and Davis Allen all had rushing touchdowns for the Tigers. Passing-wise for us, wasn't all that great. Spencer Rattler, 16 for 29, 270 yards, 3 touchdowns, 2 picks. Dak Joyner, 6 for 9, 94 yards, and a touchdown. I am really going to miss having him in this offense next year. Marshawn Lloyd, though, 29, 162, 4 touchdowns on the ground. Kerion Joyner also added 11 for 80 and a touchdown himself on the ground as well. Juice Wells, 6 for 129. Xavier Legette, 4 for 119 and a touchdown. Josh Fan, 3 for 32 and a touchdown. Jaheim Bell kind of slowed down after those first few big weeks. 2 for 23. Austin Stogner, 2 for 1 and a touchdown. And Kerion Joyner, another. Is this the first hat trick? He had a passing touchdown, he had a rushing touchdown, and a receiving touchdown. 2 for 24 and a touchdown through the air for him. Defensively, as you guys know, the 1 interception or 1 turnover for us. Darius Rush made a great play. No sacks, really. We had a couple sacks. I guess maybe 1 by Webb there down on the defensive line. Overall, R.J. Roderick, 11 total tackles, 2 for loss. He will be gone next year, graduating from this program. Mo Kaba had 5 total tackles. Sherrod Green had 5 total tackles. A couple guys here with tackles for loss as well, with Cam Smith and Zach Pickens added on to that. There's a couple guys down here as well with M.D. Webb and Tonka Hemingway also adding a tackle for loss. And that is a big way to finish off the season. We leap up back into the rankings, finishing off the year ranked 20th overall. We should have been much higher. We could have been much higher. But if you look at the final polls, it's a fairly even ranking. We lost a couple games we probably should have won. Mississippi State finally fell off. Alabama took an L, I believe, to Auburn last week. Yeah, they lost in the Iron Bowl to a 5-7 Auburn, which basically catapulted them out of the playoffs or out of the BCS Bowl contention, and Georgia's not up there either, so there's only a very slight chance that either of these SEC teams make it into the BCS championship. And it's looking like right now, unless anything insane happens because Ohio State's taking on Nebraska and Miami is taking on Clemson, it's going to be one of these three teams up here. Probably Oklahoma doesn't have a championship game. So if they just have one of these two teams lose, it's going to be Oklahoma in the championship game versus the other, or Oklahoma versus another team. It would be interesting to see if Kansas is able to take down Texas, or if Texas is able to take down Kansas. Kansas is a team that is dramatically overperforming right now. Jalen Daniels, 26 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. Devin Neal only had 4 touchdowns on the ground, but they didn't really need him to do much. As you see, Luke Grimm had himself a great season, 47 catches, 762 yards, and 4 touchdowns. They just have a good defense from what I understand. And it's going to be interesting to watch other people that received votes in the last poll of the season. Tulane, Virginia Tech, Washington, Western Michigan, Texas A&M, and Kansas State, as well as Nebraska there with 12 votes. UCF dropped out. We really don't care about this too much. We care about BCS mostly. And for the most part, it's practically the same. We still sit at 19 here, 9-3. We're a spot higher. We're at 19th in the BCS Bowl. Technically, we're ranked 20th, and Clemson is ranked 19th in the other bowls, but in the BCS, they are ranked 20th as well. I'm not sure if we can see our bowl games. Yeah, we can see bowl projections for us right now. It shouldn't be completely instated, but right now, it's looking like we're going to be taking on the 8th-ranked Purdue Boilermakers, a team that should be fun. Honestly, we don't get to take them on very often here in the Tax Slayer Gator Bowl, which would be weird because in real life they're in the Gator Bowl, so that would be interesting. Anything else really going on interesting right now? Alabama is predicted to be taking on the UCF Knights in the All-State Sugar Bowl. That should be interesting. Kansas is supposed to take on Notre Dame. North Carolina, Michigan State, Mississippi State, Texas. A lot of good bowl games. So we'll have to make sure to check those out next week after the bowl game episode. BCS rankings, we already checked those out. As far as recruiting class goes, we are actually sitting pretty low on the recruiting totem pole. If you look at our class rank, we're sitting right around 45th. We're behind the Jayhawks and behind a lot of other teams. We don't really have the volume or the talent that a lot of other teams are getting right now. As you can see, we have 3 4-stars, 6 3-stars, and 1 1-star prospect. We're sitting at 10 total prospects signed. We did lose out a lot of points there because we messed up on some of the recruiting visits. But as you can see, we have some very good prospects, just not all of them are quite as hyped up. Rory Patrick, a very big defensive lineman. Jamal Wilson, another great 4-star defensive tackle. Steve Spencer at cornerback. Tyler Upshaw at defensive end. Jimmy Lucas there is going to be our fullback. Maybe we can use him kind of as a Swiss Army knife there. Julius Kenry, I'm very excited about, a JUCO 3-star athlete, 77 overall. He could go down, he could go up. We don't know exactly what his final overall is going to be. We were able to convince Scott Hall to commit there, the tight end out of North Carolina. Greg Jackson, Baldwin, Massachusetts or Mississippi or Missouri, something like that, a 69 overall middle linebacker, should be able to compete fairly well. Mike Harris, a free safety JUCO from New Jersey, and Brandon Robinson, the 4-star receiver out of Georgia, sitting there, a very fast guy from what I understand, so he should be able to compete fairly quickly in this offense. Other guys that we're really looking at right now, obviously this week we cannot recruit as much because it's a conference championship week. The game does not allow you to recruit on conference championship week. Chris Dobzinski, I would like to bring in out of Florida to keep that going. Dalton, Georgia, free safety. Patrick Morris. Now, we did get the JUCO free safety down there, but I would like to get this guy to just bring him in redshirt. I think he would be a good contributor on this offense. Brandon Hammond out of Barnwell, South Carolina, is a guy we're going after pretty heavy. And we also are going after Stephen Moss, a scrambler from Wayne, New England. I would very much like to get him. He is a pretty quick guy, and I would like to see him actually be back there in the backfield. Brian Huffman, a JUCO senior out of Indiana or Idaho, I guess, a center there. We would like to add him as far as depth goes. Chad Stevens, another 4-star receiver I'm going after, and a couple guys down here from South Carolina we're going after to keep the pipeline going, like John Hunt out of Darlington, George Berstrand out of Oak Grove, South Carolina, and Braylon Lucas out of Union, South Carolina. I wouldn't mind getting Braylon Lucas. He's a JUCO, but he's already 69 overall, and he could be a good quarterback for us going forward if we go after him. So we've got a lot going on as far as recruiting goes, but no commits happening right now. And before we sign off on this episode, we're going to go ahead and see what happens in these SEC championship games. And there's only a few left, so we're going to go ahead and start down here. Or actually, we'll just start at the top, and we'll see what happens between UAB and Tulane. This is the CUSA Conference USA Championship game, and UAB is going to take down the Tulane Green Wave. They finished 10-3 on the season. Tulane finishes 11-2. Appalachian State versus the very dominant Troy Trojans. Their defense has been very staunch all year, and the Trojans take down the Mountaineers. 31-29 is your final there in the Sun Belt Conference. SEC Championship we will get to last because it holds the most weight in our hearts, because we all know how entertaining those games can be. San Diego State is facing Boise State, and they do take down the surprising upset there. The San Diego State Aztecs, I believe, take down Boise State 34-24 in their Mountain West Conference Championship. In the Pac-12, none of these teams were really all that competitive as far as the championship game goes. So Oregon State taking on the Bruins, and Oregon State is going to win 17-13. The Beavers get their first really big upset of the season. And still, that's a big game there. And here's another big one. Clemson taking on Miami. The second-ranked Hurricanes took down Clemson early in the season, but can the Tigers get their revenge? And they do not. It's not even close. 38-14 on that one, and Miami basically solidifies their place in the national championship. And now we look and see, can the Buckeyes take down Nebraska, or will the Cornhuskers upset Ohio State and take them out of the playoffs? They are going to the national championship, so the stage is set for a Miami Hurricanes Ohio State Buckeyes national championship, as they won that game 33-21. Here's the Kansas Jayhawks taking on the Texas Longhorns. If you guys watch my old Jayhawks Dynasty, I'm very invested in this series, and the Longhorns take a win 34-17, unfortunately for us. Not a great game by the Jayhawks. They probably overachieved a lot more than they would have expected. And to round it off before we get to the SEC Championship, the MAC Conference Championship is going to the Western Michigan Broncos, I believe, is their mascot. They just, 20-0 and no scoring in the second half. That must have been a very slugfest of a game. And now Alabama taking on the Bulldogs. They have no chance to. And the SEC Championship final is going to be 34-28 in overtime, as the Bulldogs do take down the Alabama Crimson Tide. And for whatever reason, it went ahead and simulated a week forward. I'm not entirely sure why, but the Gamecocks are setting the stage to take on the Nebraska Cornhuskers in the Tax Slayer Gator Bowl next week, as I will join you guys again in bowl season. Perfectly lined up basically with the actual IRL Gamecock Bowl season, because they're playing in the Gator Bowl as well. Thank you all for continuing to support this series, and I will see you guys next episode as we take on the 8-5 Nebraska Cornhuskers.